Hello to you all, and welcome to Pyramid Energy. If you're new to the channel, you are so welcome. And if you're returning, welcome back, and I'm so happy that you're all here with me. I'm going to lay out a Celtic cross. I'm going to show the cards on the screen as I go through them. If you've clicked on this video, then you know what I'm going to talk about before I do. I'm using a deck called the Field Tarot. I haven't used this deck in quite some time, but as I sat down, it called me. And I see here the Wheel of Fortune has come out at the center. So this is change. But the difference with this Wheel of Fortune card in particular compared to the standard, I'd say Rider-Waite tarot deck, is that this one shows the wheel of a carriage is what it looks like. Okay, so it's already reminding me of the Chariot, which speaks to divine timing, and the colors almost representing the entire color spectrum, the chakras. There's something very energetic about this wheel. And as if the shifts are happening on an energetic level, we're talking about expansion here, but not just, and the word that's coming up is genetic. So it's saying genetic expansion, and I'm going to need to sit with that for a while. You are changing from a very fundamental cellular level, is what this is telling me. And so it's speaking to a cellular upgrade, a physical upgrade, but also energetic. This speaks to the expansion of your understanding, the expansion of your sight, the expansion of your stability, the expansion of your creativity, the expansion of your confidence, the expansion of your speech, and the expansion of what you believe is possible. As I was sharing all these words, I feel your expansion through my words, okay? But when I see these two cats on both sides, this is reminding me of yin and yang. It's reminding me of masculine and feminine. It's showing me that you have elevated the base point of your balance. As I was about to say these words, I slowed down because in yesterday's channeled message, I shared that you're elevating the base point of your clarity. And we were trying to work on your balance. And so now they're saying that you're elevating the base point of your balance. And so this is to say you have expanded way beyond a point that you previously used to revisit frequently. When I say frequently, I don't mean in the sense of like every day. I mean in the sense of that feeling of regressing to something you thought you'd already covered. And so you're now finding balance. And I'm saying finding balance because one is never totally in balance, but the region of balance where you're finding balance that you're working with is further and more expansive, which helps me understand a lot of the energy that I was reading yesterday, because we have been speaking about expansion, but it feels like that heaviness, okay? And I don't know if I referred to it as that, but I definitely felt it during the hours after I posted. That heaviness is something that was being transmuted. It's a getting used to a new environment, okay? And the word travel comes up. And when I say travel, I'm not referring to leaving one place and going to another. This word travel is coming to me in a different form. As if you're able to travel further beyond places you were able to reach before. just before I opened this container, I felt a headache forming, okay? I felt a headache forming, but then it went away as soon as I opened the container. And the headache is not back, but what I'm noting is this expansive feeling in my mind. I mean, I've got my eyes wide open and I'm just trying to grasp this feeling. There's more space. There's way more space in my mind. I feel a little bit crazy saying this to you, but there's a lot of space in my mind. And I'm also seeing this sense of you almost within your mind. Okay, this is very out there, but let's go with it. I'm seeing your presence within the mind moving to different places within the mind. And so you have gained an ability to travel through your mind in different ways and through different spaces to gain various types of understanding, not just of yourself, but also of your environment. This includes your limitations. So this is an expanded awareness. Okay? What I'm getting now is that this is going to take some time to integrate this particular expansion. Okay? This is time sitting with yourself. This is time breathing. This is time not actively applying thought to what you're receiving. This is writing down what you receive as you receive it, not overanalyzing it before you receive it, so that you can observe it without interrupting the travel. This place can be reached in stillness. This position that you put yourself in when you enter this space might feel counterintuitive, but they're saying that all it takes is for you to sit, either write or record, but allow it to flow directly. Okay? This is the traveling. When I see the contrast of these cats, the black and the white, and then I see the contrast of the background. Okay, this is very yin and yang. But what I'm seeing is that there's no longer a fear of your shadow. There's this sense that there have been times where you've observed yourself running from your shadow or chasing your shadow. And now you're just sitting with your shadow, learning from it, being in it and not allowing it to stifle you, not allowing it to take center stage. It's like just now a natural part of you. You are embracing your humanity. This is an increased level of like compassion for self, which is actually what expands your understanding of yourself, because you're able to see both sides of yourself. And through seeing both sides of yourself, you're able to perceive both sides of other things, both sides of your environment. This means that you're triggered less. This means that you're triggered less. And as I took a moment, I saw 090909 on the clock, which is an expanded version for me of 030303. And perhaps 2 readings ago, I referred to Tesla's theory on 3, 6, and 9. 3 referring to the basis of creation. It moves through 6, where we find balance and alignment, and then 9, which is manifestation. What these 3 9s are also giving me is a balance within this 9. And so this, to an extent, refers to this ongoing momentum that you've been trying to grasp for a while now, okay, which kept on being interrupted, but also increased independence of thought, independence of creativity, and even independence from your stuck mind. That is to say that you have developed a new agreement with your mind to change as you call on it to change. You've become the master of your mind through awareness of yourself. So at each given point, you're aware of your opportunity and what's holding you back. And you're taking that opportunity and you're choosing which route you want to take. And even if you decide not to do what you've decided you were going to do, when you reach this kind of juncture for yourself, you're mindfully applying compassion and allowing yourself to make the decision to not proceed now, not because of shame, not because of doubt, not because of it, but perhaps you are just allowed to rest. But you have become the master of your mind, the master being the director of what you are going to do, without being, I'm trying to figure out a word for this, the strictest type of master. You're not being strict on yourself, but you're holding a mastery over your mind coupled with a compassion for your body, for the space you need, for the time you need. I've never quite observed this kind of balance, or rather heard it articulated. Okay? I'm on the first card and we have 12 minutes. Let's pull another card. I have 1, 2, 2, 2, 3 on the clock. Okay? As soon as I press play, I lose the visual of the timestamp. And so I'm just picturing it now while I interpret this. Do you see that there are 4 twos? Those 4 twos add up to 8, which represents courage and momentum. Those 4 twos, if you couple the 2 twos with the 2 twos as well, are saying that you have now integrated what you have discovered through looking at both sides of yourself. So this is not just 2 twos where you're facing yourself and looking into the mirror. This is to say that you have now integrated what you have found in the mirror. As I speak about this, please remember to take what resonates and leave the rest. But I want to say that this is not a state of being that one wants to over-attach to. Because if I consider the 3-6-9 cycle, it is continuously overlapping, and it's like it feels like a wheel that's turning on itself constantly. And so at any given point, you could be occupying various positions between them. So you are not bound to one position at a time. You're not bound to 3 or 6 or 9. These numbers, these states of being, these ways of your system operating are constantly in motion. Okay. And it's through the meditation and through the breath work and through the rest that they're able to develop, and they develop as you integrate. And partly some of that integration happens mentally, but the vast majority of it happens naturally. And I'm inclined to say that the part that happens mentally is leaving your mind open. Leaving your mind open. Okay, because if you can leave your mind open, then you can allow your heart to open. And as you allow your heart to open, you can be at rest, you can be at peace, you can rest, and the rest of the process can take place. This is one of those things where you wake up the next day and you just have an expanded awareness of something or an expanded understanding of it and yourself, and an expanded ability to work with your system, whatever that means to you. This reading feels very alien to me, okay? And the last thing I want to say about the 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3 is that for it to start with a 1 and end with a 3 and move through 2s tells me that this is definitely a new cycle, okay? It's a major new cycle, and that this new balance that you have come upon it all started with you. It all started with you, because we can be thrown with many opportunities and not take any of them up. And so this has all been through choice. This has all been through choice, through openness, and through accepting that you have the gift of being self-empowered, which is also the gift of accountability over your life, accountability over your experiences. So this is not to say you have the ability to control everything. This is to say that every experience is a mirror. Every experience is a teacher. Every experience is a manifestation of your inner world. We're at 16 and a half minutes. I have pulled one card. I was going to do a Celtic cross, but I'm moving onto an oracle card because I feel like that was a hell of a lot of information. I feel like it's a I don't know what else to say. I thought that I'd pull more cards, but I feel like this is a big one. I feel like that's a lot of information to integrate. There's something else I'm picking up on this card, and I'm understanding better why they pulled me to this deck instead of the traditional deck. But do you see how there are these plants? It's like a mirror image of the roses and the leaves in both sides. So on the lighter side and the darker side, which is the leaves and the roses are speaking to me about how this has all been a natural process. Most of this work has been natural, even though some of it has been difficult. Overall, if you look at it from an eagle's eye view, it has been a beautiful process. The fact that it has even transpired through you and through your nature is a magnificent thing. But beyond that, there's something about these shifts that we go through and how we perceive them at each point in time. If you think about nighttime and daytime, a garden looks so beautiful during the day, but at night, you cannot actually fully see its beauty. That doesn't mean that it is not beautiful at night. It just means that at night, you cannot see its beauty. And I think that there's a message in here about how you look at yourself and see yourself and speak to yourself when you're in the dark and as you're adjusting in the dark. Because there's something to be said about the contrast between dark and light, is that they need each other. That contrast is where one gains understanding. The understanding is drawn from the contrast. Before I leave this card is saying so much. This number 10, okay, it says fortune on this card. This number 10 was speaking to me about all the 10s in the tarot. The 10 of cups, the 10 of pentacles, the 10 of swords, and the 10 of wands. These 10s are all like events or states that we often cling to. Whether we're clinging to a 10 of cups and a 10 of pentacles in the future, okay, as a future promise, or the 10 of swords and the 10 of wands as something we're feeling in the present, sometimes based a lot on the past. Okay. So we often clinging to these things, clinging to some experiences from our past, clinging to experiences in the future, not really remaining in the present. And I don't see presence. Actually, when I look at these 4 cards now, I don't see presence reflected in any of these cards, even though they represent completions. And so there's this understanding that you are in flux, you are in motion, you are evolving, you are adapting as you go. And even though you may have thought of a place as a destination, that destination, number 1, is momentary, okay? It too is fleeting. And that you're already manifesting a different state. And so you're not clinging to this moment, you're just accepting yourself. You're accepting yourself. And so there's no need for any form of perfection as to how you need to show up for whatever it is, including yourself. There's no need for perfection. I'm not saying that you do not hold an expectation on yourself, but you're reckoning with that expectation fundamentally very differently. Okay? And another thing I'm reading in these cards is the 10 of Pentacles and the 10 of Cups those are usually the cards that we look to when we think about fulfillment and everything we want. Okay, this is earthly things. This is love. Okay, this is what these cards, the elements that sort of they represent. Again, often reflected as something to be attained in the future. Okay? And then the 10 of Swords and the 10 of Wands, this is the truth. Okay, this is clarity, the element of the Swords, and this is fire, Wands, which feels like something. It's just interesting to look at these because this is where transformations happen. These are the catalysts of transformation. I went to sleep last night with this burn in my heart. And I observed it for a while, as I go through this process of deciphering whether it's always mine. I've learned that now. It's always mine. But wondering whether this is something that's come at me, let's say through the collective or just me. I don't know why I took myself through that thought process because, again, it's always me and it's always collective. Okay, I'm not saying everyone picks up on that, but that's the aspect of the collective energy that I have picked up on. And as I sat with that, I thought to myself, should I go open up a container? It was very late at night. I'd already put my children to sleep. I thought about it. And then a thought arrived. This thought being, it's okay for your heart to feel like that. It's okay for your heart to feel like that. No, you don't have to get up and go record anything. No, you can rest. It's okay to feel like that. There's nothing wrong with you. You're feeling. You're human. And so sometimes you'll feel a burning in your heart. When the understanding is ready, when you are ready to reach that understanding will reach you. And here we are now. And I'm engaging with my heart in a different way. Okay, because I didn't feel perfect when I opened this container. I had no idea what I was going to find. But I was like, you know what? Let's just see. I just pulled a card from the Priestess of Light Oracle deck. The card is card number 10. This is another 10. It says sacred breath and sound, life force, communication. This tells me that you are accessing your life force, okay? This infinite availability of life force within you. You're accessing it through breath and sound. Not just that, you're acknowledging your feeling. Okay, so a lot of these, the dolphin is telling me, a lot of these vibrations reach us through feeling, but you're actually transmuting those feelings, whether difficult or not, into communication onto the earth through feeling. You know, the dolphins make sound underwater. Okay, and obviously when we're outside of the water, we can't always hear that sound. And when we're in the water, it's very difficult to communicate that sound. But you're allowing that same sound, that same information to flow through you, through your feeling, through your voice, through your creativity. The dolphin takes me to creativity. It's speaking to me about the embracing of your sensuality. Sensuality is something that we're able to access. Rather, let me say, sensuality is a thing that enhances our creativity, the depth of our creativity, our connection to our creativity, through allowing ourselves to fall into our senses, sensuality. So it's when you fall into your senses and you're able to be compassionate towards yourself, that you're able to acknowledge these senses as they reach you and communicate them without overthinking it. Please excuse that sound of that car revving in the background. It makes one wonder whether the car will move if it's not being revved so hard. And I'm laughing because this is relevant to me, because we are taught, okay, we are conditioned to believe that you've got to push hard and produce in order for life to move, in order for things to move. And that's not the case. I'm finding this to be completely untrue. It's a form of a clinging, and it's a trap to land you in a feeling where you encounter these feelings of failure. Whereas now we're not clinging anymore. We're just being. And as we feel a need to express, even if we don't know what is to be expressed, we're just expressing. I'm very happy about this. 2727. You are always within divine timing, irrespective of how you feel and what things look like. We are definitely done here. I hope that you enjoyed this reading as much as I did. Thank you so much for being a part of this community. Whether you're visiting for one day or not, even if you've been here a really long time, I appreciate each and every one of you, because each time someone clicks on the video and engages with the video, okay, with this energy and the words, Spirit already knows who's going to click on the video, and therefore knows who's going to engage with the video, and therefore knows which information to deliver through me at this divine moment. I truly appreciate all of your support and also your dedication to yourself. Should you be curious about ways you can support the channel, I've left information in the description box below. Sending you all so much love.